Okay, welcome to the channel, ladies and gents. Look, we're talking about Ezra Miller, we're talking about The Flash, we're talking about Michael Keaton, we're talking about Jeffrey Dean Morgan, various bits and bobs surrounding this entire situation. Now, I did a video the other day, I'll leave it linked above somewhere, where we heard rumours and rumblings that Jeffrey Dean Morgan was going to be Thomas Wayne in the Flashpoint movie. That very same day, okay, there was another report which countered that report and then said that Michael Keaton was in talks to reprise his role of Bruce Wayne, not Thomas Wayne. Now, the reason why I didn't cover it, very good reason actually, and I waited. One, if you do more than 3 videos per day on YouTube, anything after the 3rd video doesn't get notified of anyone. That's even if you're lucky for your other videos to be notified. Thanks so much, YouTube. So even if I did it, there'd be no point because no one would see it. You wouldn't be able to get that sort of update, I guess. Now, secondly was, inevitably, when these things do come out and there are massively contradictory statements, there's going to be a little bit more information that drops. And some more information has dropped. So, few things, okay. One, here's the initial report, and it actually comes to us from the Wrap, right? And it was, I believe it was Humberto Gonzalez, I think, if I remember rightly, who had initially dropped this. And basically said, look, the talks with Keaton are in the very early stages. It's far from a sure thing and can go either way. But he's looking to reprise the role of actual Batman, Bruce Wayne, which is very, very odd. And it's his Burton Batman, right? Now, the Wrap also indicated that they did not know how big or small Keaton's role as Batman would be. And it would obviously be an older one, clearly. Which is very, 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 very surprising. And then it was expanded upon further, so the Wrap's Humberto Gonzalez would explain that the film will introduce general audiences to the idea of the multiverse, one of the core concepts underpinning DC Comics. Surprising. Very, very surprising. Now, we're going to dive into that today, and both of these articles that I'm working off will actually be linked down below in the description box. Before we do, there is something else linked down below in the description box, and it's the GoFundMe for my film, Black Fields. That's actually the official poster. You can find a link to the GoFundMe down below in the description box. $5 or more, one, contributes to an awesome film being made, hopefully. And secondly, enters you in for a chance of winning a signed ornamental prop for the film, basically. And there's also a Teespring store where you can buy some cool merch. But anyway, that out of the way, let's dive right in, shall we? Okay, so giving you the overview, we had one report, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Second report, Michael Keaton. Now, personally, the moment you hear Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I don't really care that Michael Keaton is in talks to come back. Not only that, it's the fact that, you know, he was a good Batman. How good is he now as Batman? And he was good as Victor Toombs. I think it's Victor Toombs in Spider-Man as the Vulture. He was very good, very menacing. But old Batman, I don't know. I think it's the fact that Jeffrey Dean Morgan is a perfect old Thomas Wayne Batman, right, in that Flashpoint universe. I think it's because that casting is so perfect. To me, anyway, it overshadows any potential hype of getting a Burton, Michael Keaton Batman back. I just think it's a bit odd. Now, obviously, what they're talking about is this, which is the Flashpoint universe, which is, you know, it's like a universe-shattering event. It's very popular, actually. I really like it. I've enjoyed the cartoon, the DC animated adaptations that they've done of it, and I think I would enjoy it actually being put on the big screen as live action. Not with Ezra Miller, which we're going to get to in a second, because there's rumours that he is out. But yeah, and we're said to be getting an update on all of this very, very soon. But that's sort of the brunt of it. Okay, we had Jeffrey Dean Morgan, that scrapped allegedly. Now we've got basically Michael Keaton back. Now, the thing which was then further elaborated on is this: Ezra Miller's status as the Flash is in question, and why Michael Keaton's Batman Returns. Now, in terms of why he's looking to return, it's simply multiverse, right? It's setting up that there's this big multiverse going on, which is a good idea. It's a great way to eradicate a lot of crap from the universe that they need to. A lot of lack of continuity as well. But it continues, right? So Ezra Miller may be in doubt for the Flash, as he was given, as he was when when his video of choking a fan and all that kind of stuff. Now that awful. I'm baffled why nothing else has really happened about that. Look, if you don't know what this is, just Google it. Ezra Miller chokes fan. Weird video. There's a lot of people on the fence about it, but for me, it's very, very strange. Now, we had Grace Randolph jumped on all of these reports with respect to Michael Keaton and said some other bits and bobs, right? So she says that Miller is basically a stumbling block. So she says, we will see if they keep Ezra Miller. The jury apparently is still out on that, but Ezra Miller is a big stumbling block. And he is. He's notoriously difficult to work with. He is a PR disaster. Like, he looks high at all times when he's in interviews. He's not a spokesperson for a quick superhero. It's terrible. And it's also a terrible interpretation of the Flash. It's just awful. And there have been like all these fan petitions. I don't really think they do too much, but whatever. And this is the video in question. I can't really leave it linked down below because, again, YouTube starts to block people if we start to do these kind of things, and it's not. I don't want to get blocked. Now, Miller is considered hard to work with as well, which might be what led to the duo of John Francis Daley and Jonathan Goldstein jumping ship from the project. Daley seemed to throw shade about creative differences back in April when the choking incident occurred. So basically, this dropped, and then this just random tweet came out. Now, it was creative differences that were cited for them leaving the project. I mean, pretty indicative of what's going on, right? Yeah. Now, obviously, Keaton, who's reportedly in talks to stage a comeback as the Bruce Wayne Batman in Tim Burton's movies, Grace Randolph, initially heard that he could be playing Thomas Wayne. But in an update, she says that's off the table now, which makes sense. But it also, to me, sounds like they've got no clear direction anyway, because they're like, well, we get Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Thomas Wayne. Oh, we get Michael Keaton, Thomas Wayne. Oh, no, they'd just be Bruce Wayne. Like, for fuck's sake. Just make your mind up, for God's sake. Seriously. Jeffrey Dean Morgan was circling a role in The Flash as recently as last week. Apparently that's old, though. Like, really, really old. Apparently it was thrown in as like some to get people off the scent. Now, older Tim Burton Batman substituting Thomas Wayne's Flashpoint Dark Knight obviously veers heavily from the comics. Fans will be upset, and rightly so, said Randolph. Which, yeah, I mean, I think they would be. The rap cast out on if Thomas Wayne was ever in the script. Again, this is what I mean. Apparently my dog's insane, so well done. We'll just keep going. Thanks so much, Jasper. So obviously, in terms of what the rap said, they cast out if Thomas Wayne was ever going to be even in the script. Apparently, because it makes no difference. And Grace Randolph would tweet evidence of this in a character breakdown she claims was from December. Now, how much we can rely on that actually being the case, we don't know. I'm not saying she's wrong specifically, but it's just a casting call. And some of these pop up here and there, and we don't really know whether it is absolutely legit. Sometimes they are wrong. And I'm not saying it's because of it's her, but sometimes they are just genuinely wrong. So Thomas Wayne is listed in the middle, with Jeffrey Dean Morgan designated as circling. She added the role moved beyond development. So here's what she says. She says, wow, now I'm seeing a claim from the rap reporter that Thomas Wayne isn't even in Flashpoint, aka the Flash movie. F it. Here's the actual casting grid role listed in December 2019. I'd say the role moved beyond development. Which, I mean, I don't know. Look, if you knew this, you should probably have said it at the time, I guess. It's difficult to start to believe these things in hindsight when you're being contradicted by people, if that makes sense. Again, this was back in December 2019. Jeffrey Dean Morgan never closed his deal. Well, then it's not really beyond development, then, is it? If it's just, you see what I mean? So basically, at this point in time, we don't know whether Ezra Miller is back in The Flash or not. He's notoriously difficult to work with. He's a bit of a spade anyway. And apparently we get Michael Keaton. But apparently that's not confirmed either. So who knows? Basically, we're none the wiser. But I had to make the video because obviously I made the video on Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and now immediately we get Michael Keaton. Personally, I don't want Michael Keaton as Batman in a Flashpoint movie. It's not Flashpoint at that point in time. It's just a multiverse movie. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan is perfect casting for Thomas Wayne. So it overshadows it, personally. And yeah, sure, I would like to see Michael Keaton back. But can he pull it off now? Or are you looking through nostalgia lenses? Remains to be seen. But I hand it on over to you. What do you think? Let me know down below in the comments. If you are new here, do hit subscribe. Stay up to date on the world of pop culture movie news by hitting the bell notification icon. And hopefully if you come back, my dog won't interrupt me because he was a little douche canoe for that. So, thank you all so much. I've been Mr. H. Take care.